Hello everyone, this is Amber with Staying Crafty. Today I'll be using this Penguin Trio stamp by Stampendous. I am stamping it in basic black ink from Stampin' Up, and I am using the craft kind so that I can emboss. I will be stamping the image again to get a fourth penguin. I would like to have another little baby. I removed some of the image after re-inking it with some Stampin' Mist and a paper towel. Now I used my Stamp-A-Majig to determine the placement. I hovered my imaging sheet up above the penguins so as not to smear them, and I was still able to line it up properly that way. It just took a little more doing. They lined up wonderfully, and now I'm ready to do some heat embossing. I am just sprinkling some Stampin' Stuff embossing powder in Midnight Black all over my penguins, and I'm being pretty liberal with it, but I'm not worried about that at all because I know I can always put all of the excess right back into the container, so I don't have to worry too much about waste, which is wonderful. Now all I am doing is tapping off that excess embossing powder, and I will move that off to the side so that I don't accidentally melt it. And here I'm just heat embossing my image. My penguins are all embossed and shiny and wonderful looking, and now I want to go ahead and cut them out. I'm just using some scissors from the Cricut toolkit, but I actually don't like these all that well. I really prefer my Martha Stewart scissors most of the time. So after I get those all cut out, I am doing some coloring with some Stampin' Write markers by Stampin' Up. I am using the fine tip here to do the earmuffs, and I also used it for the beaks, but I used the thicker brush tip to do the larger scarves on the two adult penguins. So it's really nice to have both those different tips available to use in all the same colors. This is my penguin family colored in, and I'm really pleased. Between the embossing and the coloring, I've completely changed the look of this image, and I've really made it my own and given it a lot of depth and detail and pop. So I'm really tickled with the results, and I'm ready to work on my card base. I'm going to be doing some cuttlebugging here. I have this swirly patterned paper, and it reminds me of a snow scene outside, but I wasn't sure if it would be too busy to have a patterned paper like this that was then embossed, but I thought I'd go ahead and give it a try and see what happened. I'm going to be using the Ice Crystals embossing folder, and it seems to be pretty hard to find. I got mine at Custom Crops, and it says it's limited. I don't know what the details of that are, but I was able to find mine at Custom Crops along with some other limited folders, and I don't know, I picked this one up because I really like it. So I just put down my A block with a B plate. Now I am putting my folder on top of the one B plate. I'm adding a second B plate over the top, just the standard cuttlebug sandwich, and it's pretty easy to crank through. And luckily my cuttlebug even works with its suction on my poster board, which is really nice. It's a feature I really appreciate that's built into the cuttlebug. So now I am just taking out my embossed patterned paper to see if I like the results, and I do. I think it turned out absolutely wonderfully. Trying to get a good angle there for you to see. Now I'm going to be using my Glue Glider Pro with the Permatac cartridge inserted. And Permatac is what comes standard with the Glue Glider Pro, so if you go buy a new one, that's what you're going to get. I'm being extremely liberal here, even though Permatac's a wonderful, strong adhesive. Just because I'm putting it on embossing, I want to make sure that there's enough surface area that's sticky to adhere to those raised embossed parts. So you probably don't need to use that much. It just makes me feel better knowing my card isn't going to come apart. I'm a little paranoid about that, especially when it comes to cards, not as much with scrapbooking, but I'm just giving that a nice firm press down, and it's good and secure, and I know it'll stay that way forever. So there's my penguin family, kind of looking like they're in a winter scene of sorts. Now I'm just simply taking my main part of my card that I've already cut and scored and folded, and it is just Whisper White cardstock by Stampin' Up, which is the same cardstock that I used to stamp the Penguin family onto. I am using my Glue Glider Pro again, except I'm not going to be as liberal this time. I am just going around the edges, and I will put one strip along the middle as well, and I know I'll get a really good strong hold with that. So then the trick here is, just trying to position it correctly, which I don't think I'm the best at, but being that it's handmade, as long as it's reasonably proportional, I think it'll be just fine. That's something I'm learning to let go of as I do more and more crafting, is the perfectionist. I never get anything done if I spend hours trying to get one thing just so, and I'm finding that things look just fine afterwards anyway. So here's my wonderful Penguin family card. I'm really pleased with the way I was able to take a stamp and truly make it my own, change up the design a bit, and really give it dimension and color. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe to my YouTube, follow my blog, and I love comments. So have a wonderful day.